What's going on, everybody? It is Zoe with No Days Off DFS here to do another WNBA slate breakdown for this big 6-game slate we got here today on Sunday. It's been a while since we've seen all 12 teams in action at one time, and luckily enough, the league is so poor at planning their schedule that we get all 6 teams today and no games on Saturday. Really, I don't know who planned the schedule, but somebody needs to be fired because there's no reason why you're having these games spread out so much to start the season. It's a 40-game season. They don't get to play that much throughout the season anyway. This is really sad in regards to the scheduling, the planning, and whatnot. But that's another thing for another weekly recap video for me to go over. If you guys are new here and you're enjoying this content, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and drop a like. It means so much to me. We hit our goal of 450 subs. Now let's hit for that 500 subs. So if you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see my cores, my content, anything that I'm putting out, or if you want to see Dion's cores content and everyone else that we have over at the No Days Off family, check the link down in the description below for the Patreon. It's only $10, and I promise you, you will make that back within your first week. If you guys missed it on the YouTube communities tab or on the No Days Off Twitter, your boy got a seat into the Queen of the Court. Won that on this past Friday slate. Extremely blessed to actually win that. I honestly didn't think I was gonna hit, but the ladies, they came through, and yeah, man, we crushed it. A lot of the calls went our way in regards to who we're looking at, the value, everything. If you went ahead and you started lineups with Sims and you started lineups with Melbourne or anything like that, or if you went ahead and still played Haley Jones, even though she didn't get the start, she still got significant minutes, then you were in prime position to do very well on the slate itself either way. But not going to hold it too long since this is going to be a pretty big slate, like we always like to do whenever we do these breakdowns, starting with the injury news. Going over to first game on the slate is going to be the Dallas Wings. My Dallas Wings taking on New York Liberty, coming off of that 2-0 defeat of the back-to-back versus the Phoenix Mercury, going into New York's territory. This is going to be their first test, first time going up against New York Liberty, so we're going to see how they fare going up against the super squad, super team in the league. Looking at it, pretty much the same outs are out for the Dallas Wings. We have no one out for the New York Liberty, so nothing really too interesting to look at with this. Biggest thing I'd say that we want to pay attention to is if they're going to still start Kalani Brown in that starting lineup. Kind of wouldn't be surprised if she does stick in the starting lineup. I think she can definitely match up with Jonquel Jones. I don't think she's going to match up too well with Brianna Stewart once Stewie moves down to the center position and Jones is still out, riding the bench, because Jones is still capped around that 20-minute mark. Jones actually popped off on that Friday slate in her limited minutes, but definitely want to pay attention to that before we look. Luckily, it's the first game in the slate, so we'll have the starters for the Wings. But as always, it's going to be Enrique, Satu, and then Howard if we're looking at anything from them. Going over to the Sky and the Aces, another good matchup that we should have today for the Sky. It's still the same old in regards to everyone that's out. All these people are out, pretty much a couple of them indefinitely. And then over for the Aces, the only person they have is Raquana Williams, and she might actually play finally. To the Mystics in Seattle, this is a rematch of what we just saw on Friday. Elena Delle Donne somehow popped up on the injury report today. It'll be interesting to see if she's going to be out or not, because if she is out, then that is going to shift a lot of usage to a bunch of other players. Now, I wasn't initially on Elena Delle Donne for that last time going up against the Storm. I was really more on Shakira Austin. I figured that she had the much better matchup, the usage and everything that she does, her efficiency. I like that for her, and I like her once again in this spot. They actually priced her down coming into the Sunday slate, so if EDD misses, then that's just going to give a huge boost to Austin anyway, going up into a what I considered a cake matchup. But the Storm, they did very well keeping that game close. Now, as you've seen on Friday, we had the news that Jewel Lloyd, she was not going to play in that game, and of course we've seen step ups from. They started Sammy Whitcomb, which she should go back to the bench because Lloyd is expected to be back after practicing fully today. So the starting lineup is going to go back to Jewel Lloyd, Yvonne Turner, Kia Nurse, Russell, Magbegor, and then Russell. So Lloyd will be back, and I got some opinions in regards to that right there. If we're gonna be looking at Lloyd, I don't think that we have to go to that today on this slate. And then coming down to the Sun versus the Dream, same thing. Ari McDonald, Daniel Robinson, and Rupert, they're all out. The Sun, they have no one going on for them. I will be interested to see if they still start Nas Hillman again for the Dream. If not, then of course Durr can get some burn off the bench, but still Haley Jones. If she's not priced up too much, I didn't look at her pricing when I was looking over stuff initially. If she's still priced at a decent price, then I would definitely consider going to her in this spot. Then we have the Phoenix Mercury taking on the Fever. They have Mariah Jefferson and Shea Petty on the injury report. Shea Petty, I do expect to play Mariah Jefferson. She's been playing less than 10 minutes in the past 2 games. So really, my eyes are on Sugg. Sugg has stepped up in a major way with her being down and out for this time. And then Cunningham, I do have some interest. And then, of course, Brittany Griner getting her good old test going up against Aaliyah Boston. I think Aaliyah Boston might struggle finally here in this spot going up against a more dominant and physical big in Brittany Griner. But if Aaliyah Boston goes out here and gives Brittany Griner the business, that's going to be a lot of issues and problems I'm going to have with Griner, because you should dominate this Fever team who cannot truly defend the center position to a top tier like some of these other teams. And then last game on the slate, 7 o'clock, we have the Los Angeles Sparks taking on the Minnesota Lynx. Biggest thing for them is that Clarendon was ruled out. She missed the second half of the game on Friday. So we got to see a bit more run for Carly Samuelson. They have Jasmine Thomas slid into the starting lineup. I don't think that Jasmine Thomas is going to actually start. Of course, she's still coming back from that ACL injury. I wouldn't expect for her to slide right back into a starting role or anything like that. She is, a point guard in a sense. In Canada, she's playing that point guard role. Unless you're going to move Canada down to the shooting guard, which you're going to be moving Lexi to the 3 as a small forward. I really don't see that happening. I would rather still keep Lexi as the 2, considering she is your sharpshooter and everything else that she brings, and then bring Carly in for that size that you should get. And then, of course, if Cheney misses once again, which they have her as probable right now to play, then Derek and Hamby, she will still be into the starting lineup at that 4 position, and Neck at the 5. Going over to Minnesota Lynx, really nothing going on for them. Ariel Powers, yeah, she might be back. Diamond Miller, she's still out. And then Achonwa, kind of actually shocked that I have her as a game time decision, because I could have sworn she was going to be out for a little bit longer from her pregnancy, but it looks like she might actually be back. All right, going over to the site that you guys know I love to play on. Going over to DraftKings, I'm actually a little bit, this is probably going to be the first time I'm going to be disappointed in DraftKings for a contest that they give us, considering that the top prize today is only going to be 5K up top in the big 15K fadeaway. Normally, we've been getting 10K prize pools and stuff like that, and on a 6-game slate, I honestly would have expected a 20K to first type prize pool. They've given it to us before. I'm actually a little bit shocked, but for some reason, Sunday contests normally on a lot of the DFS sites, they're kind of smaller. I don't know why. That's something I'm. If anyone knows that, drop that down in the comment section. Let me know why is that. But if you guys do not have a DraftKings account and you want to come over here and join me, join the money team, join where we are winning all this green at, come over to DraftKings. Check the link down in the description below for that deposit match bonus, so you can go ahead and start winning over here. There's more seats available for the Queen of the Court. Gonna go for some more tickets today, and of course gonna be playing some of these big contests, see if we can't go ahead and get another takedown and win to go ahead and start our week out right. But like we always like to do, starting over at the guard position, right up top, like I said, Jewel Lloyd, Bonner, Tarasi, Vandersloot. Coming down, I say our top tier is going to go all the way down to Marbury. This right here, like I said, I'm not too interested in Lloyd, especially coming back off a foot injury. Got a tough matchup going against the Mystics. Not really looking there. From this top tier of people, I would actually be considering, I have some interest in Sloot. I know that Sabrina Ionescu just popped off in that last game. Had an amazing game, career high in everything that she went out there and did. But the question is, can she repeat that again? Now, you're getting a pretty nice matchup going up against the Dallas Wings, who we do know have some defensive issues, some defensive liabilities. We'll go ahead and put that there. And Sabrina did what Diana Taurasi could not do and went 8 of 13 from 3. We know Diana Taurasi just went 2 of 14 from 3 going up against the Wings. If she can stay hot from 3, yes, I could definitely see Sabrina having another pop-off big game. But I would definitely think that teams are going to, though, the Wings are going to definitely try to focus and figure out how to shut Sabrina down. And, I mean, I don't see another 50 burger in sight, considering that her floor, for the most part, had been in the 30s before. I'm going to expect her to come back down to earth a little bit, and I just have to have that interest in Sloot, just the playmaking and the setup that she can actually get. A team that wants to play fast in the Dallas Wings, and you're also getting another team that plays pretty fast themselves in the New York Liberty. And I kind of don't really feel like we have too much to match up in regards to Brianna Stewart out there, and I think she should actually be able to go out here and get whatever she wants. Even though she's going to get Natasha Howard defense, I still feel like that's a cake matchup for her here in this spot once again. I still do have quite some interest in Sloot going out here, getting the assists. We know she's going to give us those double-digit assists whenever she can in the matchup, going up against the Wings, who definitely can be pretty prone to letting point guards pop off. Exhibit A, Diana Taurasi not so long ago. And if she can get her scoring to meet her there with what she's doing on the assists, the rebounds, and the defensive department, I definitely can see Courtney Vandersloot popping off on today. Diana Taurasi, of course, she has the matchup going against the Fever. We know we've attacked the Fever just period because they're a young team. Not a great defense or anything like that, but I have more interest in Brittany Griner in the matchup that she's going to have over DT today. Enrique, you can go back there, but I'm not too interested in Enrique here. Granted, we do know the New York Liberty, they kind of suck on the defensive end there as well, because Vandersloot and Sabrina, while they're good on offense, they have struggled on the defensive side. Rainey, Jackie, if Jackie's back healthy and good to go and not hindered by her ankle sprain, I definitely have some interest in Jackie. I would expect a very much a big bounce back from that 17.5 that she just put up with all the time off that she's had since the last game that they played last week on Thursday. I definitely wouldn't mind going back to Jackie, and they're playing back at home as well. Same thing for Chelsea Gray. Don't mind either one of those two if I'm looking in the spot right here. Plum, that would be the GPP right there. We know how Plum is. She's been streaky. Really needs to get that 3-point shot to fall. I know that she can definitely pop off like a 39-40 fantasy point game, but just that shot and everything that she has, it just has not been falling, and she's not really doing too much else out there. But just looking at everyone in here, I would say the biggest GPP play would be if you think DeWanna Bonner can pop off once again. I'm not going to tell you she's going to go for 41 points again, but the upside is there for her in regards to what her ceiling could be. Don't hate going there to Bonner if you decide you want to get different, trying to win that 5K. But for me right now, inside this top range, I'm definitely gonna say Courtney Vandersloot is gonna top my list. Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, and then maybe come down here to Marbury, who's at the bottom of it, going up against the Aces. You know they're gonna have to try to score some kind of way, get it going. She's coming off a down game, which only scored 8 points, but was able to do it on some other parts. Don't hate going to Marbury there. We do know where the usage is coming from. Marbury, Cooper, Williams, and then honestly, Elena Smith has stepped up big. 4 or 5 blocks in that last game. That was big. Last game out there for the Sky. So definitely something to consider right there if you're wanting to go that route and whatnot. Coming down here, let's see. Going to our mid tier, we got Cloud. We'll go all the way down to, we're gonna say, let's come right here down here to Dan Evans. So pretty big field to cover right here. Copper, like I already said, I don't hate him, but a little iffy on that. If Elena Deladon is out, then we're going to have some interest in Cloud. We're going to have some interest in Sykes. We're going to have some interest in Atkins. All three of those, along with Austin, that whole starting lineup is going to be in play if Elena Deladon is going to be out or limited in any way, shape, or form, because that's a lot of usage to shift. That's a lot of scoring in regards to the points and everything that EDD already brings to the game. You're going to have to get that from somewhere else. Now, I will expect for Austin to be able to step up in this spot once again. Like I said, the matchup is there for her. She could definitely, we already just seen her go up against Elizabeth Williams and Mercedes Russell and not Elizabeth Williams, against Easy Magbagor, and seen her put up a pretty decent game. Now, it's going to be interesting to see who else is going to step up. Atkins is coming off of a down game, really didn't do too much out there, only 15 fantasy points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, but only had 3 points. That's not Atkins. She went 0-7 from the field. She gets her scoring back right, and we know she can step up on that defensive end. If that playmaking is going to still be there, I'm going to love that. That's going to give me a ceiling type game from Atkins. But if you want to go on the safer route, cash games, things like that, look at Cloud. We already know ball's going to be in her hand. The playmaking is going to be there. If Elena Deladon's out, that's just going to be another boost that she's going to get, and we know that she'll step it up on the scoring aspect if she has to. So definitely would be how we look at it. Sykes, she's just a loose cannon. You really can't trust in regards to what she's going to go out there and give you. One day she's going to give you 19 or 16 fantasy points. Next day she's going to give you 33, 27 fantasy points. That's a coin flip right there. Not too much interest in regards to Sykes. GPP at best. Deep GPP for me. I'm not really going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Coming out here, Gray, Courtney Williams, McBride. In this pool, I'd probably put Gray over everybody just because more consistent in regards to it. Courtney Williams for cash games, McBride definitely for GPP, but would have some interest in Gray if you think that she can go out here and somewhat do something. I know we saw a little taste of what the Dream were gonna do in regards to having Ari McDonald gone. I'm not gonna lie, wasn't really too much a big fan of it. Naz Hillman didn't do anything until the second half of the game, and then picked up like 2 fouls back to back, and then was sat for quite some time. Haley Jones looked very good in her minutes and time that she got out there. Matter of fact, talking about Haley Jones, let's go see how much is Haley Jones today on today's slate. Now, I know this is going to be honestly a tough matchup going up against the Sun, but the thing is going to be, if we're expecting blowout or anything like that, and Haley looked very good in the playmaking duties that she had. Of course, we know she can rebound. The scoring can be there if she goes ahead. She's getting the shot attempts, and if she's knocking down her shots. I don't hate this spot for Haley Jones if you want to come down here and get a cheap guard for the Atlanta Dream. Don't hate it. But again, I would be interested to see if they run that same lineup again for the Dream. But everyone else inside this mid-tier range, outside of Sophie Cunningham, who I do have a little bit of interest in, especially going up against the Fever, if she gets that 3-point shot to fall, then she could definitely pop off. But I think mostly people are probably going to go, where's Sutton at? Sutton sitting at 6'7". I can see everyone flocking back to Sutton, considering that she just came off a monster game. 16 points, 2 steals, 9 assists, 4 rebounds. I definitely don't mind going back here, especially because we know how DT struggles and sometimes just doesn't play up to expectation. And Sutton's just been looking good out there in the minutes and time that she's getting. I don't hate going to that. If you're not trying to play up for the vets in like Cunningham, or if you're trying to come down, just find that value, because that's going to be the biggest thing that we have to find on the slate is the value. You have 6 teams playing. You can't play everything on the slate. You're not going to be able to come here and shove all these studs in. They've bumped up all of our value that we've initially had in Odyssey Sims, Haley Jones, who else? Melbourne. Melbourne's been bumped up a whole 1K. Where is it? Where is Horston? Horston's been bumped up 6'8". Dana Evans is all the way up to 7K now. So the biggest thing, in all honesty, coming down here to just something to straight value, we got to find the value kind of in this mid-level, this mid-range of who's going to actually be able to give us that decent run in minutes. So that's why starting lineups is definitely going to be very important. Jasmine Thomas, if she actually starts, I'll have some interest there. Odyssey Sims 5'2", too much for a player that's just coming in, getting that burn and run off the bench. Yes, she played 26 minutes. The scoring still just isn't there. Maybe she can have a ceiling game if she can actually get right on the scoring side. Maybe. I know, like I said, the assists are going to continue to be there and what she can do in regards to just everything else. It's just if she can step up and actually get it right. Sims, I could see us going there, but 5'2", I'm not too sure about that. With Lloyd being back, that kind of just X out Melbourne. Not going to have too much interest there because she's not going to be able to go out there and get the burn and run. I don't know why it's highlighting every single time I click on something. She's not going to go out there and get that 24 minutes again. Yes, she got 21 minutes in a game that Lloyd did play, but I don't see this happening. Not necessarily. I'll have her on my radar, but I'm not going to run and rush to that. I might just try to go more balanced, go mid-level with the guards, or see what I can find in the mid-level range for the forwards position in regards to how we're going to build out here. Jumping over to the forwards position, if you guys got anything right there for the guards, talk them down in the comment section. I will answer any questions at all that you have about guards or stuff like that. It's just such a big slate. I don't want to spend too much time just going over every single person as we go down. Going over to the forwards, looking at it, of course, the day-old question, do we play Brianna Stewart at 12K up top? Going up against Natasha Howard defense, the answer is, drum roll please, cash games. Yes. GPP, get different. Brianna Stewart, just you know what she's gonna go out there and do day in day out. I mean, pretty much she's averaging 40-ish fantasy points a game. So I don't see how we can fade this type of consistency and everything when it comes down to it. Again, for cash games. Now GPPs, of course, this when we get different. We come down here and look at the ATs, Brittany Griner, Satu, NECA, Wilson, which Wilson sitting here at 10-9. Heck yeah, I'd go back to Audra Wilson. I mean, she's coming off of a game. She's playing the decent minutes. We know she has a high seat. She has a ceiling just as much as Brianna Stewart. I'd come down here and get that value that I can get at 10-9 versus playing 12K for players that can do the same thing. And she has the much better matchup than Brianna Stewart, according to the DVP metrics on DraftKings. Yeah, I take that right there any day of the week. But coming down here, top tier forwards coming all the way down to easy. Just looking at it straight off the back. Brittany Griner, I have some interest. I know it says that somehow the Fever are first in defensive metrics going up against the forward position. Brittany Griner is the center. This should honestly be a much better matchup for her. Now, if she comes out here and actually dominates and does what she should do, of course, is going to be the day-old question that we're going to ask until we die. Didn't look too bad in this second game. Dropped 31.75 fantasy points, 18 points. Still slacking on the rebounding side, but those blocks are there. Defense is there for her. We'll have some interest in her. Side 2, of course, we just know what she's doing. Most improved player, front runner for MVP currently right now, just with the way she's playing. She can go out there, deliver the points, the rebounds like what she has, like double digit, like honestly, just averaging a double-double. It's amazing. It's really great in regards to what she's doing. She stepped up. Her averages have improved drastically from last season to this season. That'll be really cool to actually see if she actually wins the most improved player. Definitely have some interest here because, of course, if they're going to win this game or if they're going to have it even close, it's going to be that three-headed monster of Enrique, Satu, and Natasha Howard coming out here. So definitely will have to put her on in a player pool to decide. NECA, you can definitely go here going up against the Lynx. It's pretty much steady. If Cheney's going to be out again, of course, definitely will have some interest because then the rotation for the forwards is going to be pretty small. Even with Cheney being back, of course, as you know, they got Azora Stevens. Stevens going to be cutting into those minutes for her anyway. And then you still got the day-old question of Hamby. What's Hamby going to do? You got to play Hamby some minutes as well. Neck is kind of just that consistent role at the center position. And all those other players I just named kind of get into some foul trouble every now and then. So NECA, you know what you're going to get with her when she's out there on the floor. Elena Del Don, pay attention to that news so we can know if she's going to be playing or not. Collier can always go here. Had a pretty pop-off nice game, dropping 51 fantasy points, highest fantasy scoring for her on the season. 28 points, popped off in that second half, 14 rebounds. Big night for Collier. Don't mind that going up against the Sparks. And another reason why I don't mind that, and that's going to be because what I just seen Elena Smith go out here and do 5 blocks, 2 steals, 19 points, 9 rebounds. Pretty much plays the exact same position that Collier is going to go out there and play for the Lynx. And if they expect to win or do anything in this game, I'm gonna expect that to be on the back of Collier going out there and doing exactly what she just did in that last matchup, going up against the Fever. So yeah, we'll have some interest in Collier here as well. And then easy. I mean, if Elaine Deladon doesn't play, I feel like the game's going to be much closer. They got Jewel Lloyd back, sitting at 10-1. I kind of think that we can come down here for some value, and instead, I'd play Austin over Easy if I had to, or take a flyer on Natasha Howard, or come down here to the day-old question of, if you're not going to play Alyssa Thomas, come down here and play Brianna Jones. Boston, Shepard, Parker, Elena Smith, got to have some interest in Smith with the way that she's been playing. If she's able to go out there and do that against the Fever, against the Sparks, and I know she popped off again early in the season against the Dallas Wings, I will definitely have some interest in regards to if she can go out there and hang with the aces. Bringing on defensive end, bringing on the offensive end. Definitely have to consider her now with the way that she's playing. It's just kind of unstoppable in regards to it. Like, she's really stepped up in that role that we felt that Copper was going to step up into for the season. But it's been Atlanta Smith just coming out here and just dogging it. Honestly, just being a dog. Of course, Cheney, we got to pay attention to that news. Other Parker, not really too interested. Still playing limited minutes. Kalani Brown, got to know if she's going to start or not. If she does, 8K. Maybe might be able to come down here. I know Dorker kind of let me down last time out. Only dropped 17.75 fantasy points, but still not a 0. Don't mind going right back to that. Her minutes actually dropped from the prior game, so kind of interesting in the fact of that. It was actually shocking the fact that the Lynx lost the game, but I reminded myself that, hey, they are tanking, so it makes sense that they're going to let the Fever win. They want the #1 pick. So not too surprised that they lost, but Dorka, don't hate her in this spot right here as well if we're trying to find some value at the forward position. Coming on down, looking at the other forwards. Hillman, if she starts again, you got to have some interest. Maybe she just got off to a rocky start. Might be able to go out there and do a little bit of something else much better. 25 minutes. Again, that the whole starting lineup in situation 4, the Dream is going to be interesting to monitor if we're trying to find some value. See if they shake up the starting lineup again. Coming down, everyone else out here, I really have not found too much value. I feel like this is going to be a balanced type build that we're going to have to try to figure out and find. Definitely look at our mid-tier options. If we're not going to have the 3K value that we've had over the past couple of slates, so we're going to have to get different. We're going to have to really figure it out in regards to how we're going to build out for this slate tomorrow. Well, for today, sorry, recording this the night prior. But if you guys want to see my core and you guys want to see Dion's core, our prize picks, everything, all the props that we got going on for every single sport, make sure you guys check down the link in the description below for the Patreon. It's only $10, and I promise you, you will make that back within your first week. Talk to me down in the comment section. Let me know, who do you guys feel like is going to be the top scoring guard, top scoring forward, and who you have to have inside your lineup if you want to win some money on this Sunday, on this big 6-game slate. That's going to be it for me. It's your boy Zone.